Obviously, I just stole this idea from Carson Runquist and his What I Watched in Whatever Month videos. My New Year's resolution this year was to make more personal content or more personal videos, I guess. And I thought the best way of doing that was to plagiarize someone that I enjoy watching. So that's how we got here. I'm not gonna go super in depth, like I said, with every single movie. I'm just gonna give 1 or 2 sentences on each one. I'm gonna go through. I watched 39 movies in January, and I know some of you guys are gonna be like, what the hell do you do with your time? What are you doing? Why are you wasting so much time watching movies? Well, my answer is, I don't really have one. So, cinema. All right, number 1, January 1st. I watched 4 movies on January 1st. The first one being Just Go With It with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. This is an Adam Sandler comedy. You know what you're gonna get. I had a good time. Second movie is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Well, I'm a fan of rom-coms, and this has been on my blind spots forever. McConaughey and Hudson have great chemistry in it. It's a lot of fun. I can see why this has been a staple in the minds of 45-year-old white women for years. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And also, Kate Hudson. Big fan of Kate Hudson. Number 3 is Wedding Crashers. My girlfriend wanted to watch this movie. This was another blind spot of mine. I've never seen it before. Really enjoyed it. Fun time. Isla Fisher is hilarious in it. Yeah, I finally watched it. Alvin and the Chipmunks from 2007. This is obviously, I mean, what else do I need to say? This is one of the greatest musical biopics this century so far, maybe ever. Just a great cast of characters. Almost Famous. This has been a movie I've been wanting to watch for years. I just never got around to it. I finally got to watch it. Cameron Crowe's semi-autobiographical film about a young journalist trying to make it in the Rolling Stone was awesome, and Kate Hudson was in it. Bride Wars. To my utter disappointment, this was bad. Not a good time at all. But Kate Hudson. Okay, on January 5th, I watched School of Rock. This was one of the biggest, like, how have you never seen this before movies? Like, I just never got around to watching it growing up. I always remembered on Nick, whatever channel it was showing on when I was a kid. Just never watched it all the way through. But I'm glad I did. What a pure, fun family movie. Jack Black is spectacular in it. It's just a fun time. And even though I hadn't seen School of Rock before, it still felt like nostalgic to watch. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it did to me. On January 7th, I watched The Housemaid, which was a good time. It was fun, it was enjoyable, it was engaging, but it was really predictable. I think that Amanda Seyfried carries the hell out of that movie. Like, if she wasn't in it, it just wouldn't be the same that it is. I would recommend watching it, but only for her performance. The Raid. I watched this on January 8th. This is a certified Nathan banger. I've seen this movie 3 or 4 times. It's just enthralling. The last fight between Rama, Andy, and that little fella, just so electric. On January 8th, I watched Wicked, and I'm probably in the minority when it comes to straight white men really enjoying that movie, but it was great. I realized when I rewatched it this time, it was probably great to me because I watched it in a ginormous auditorium with a bunch of music, a bunch of people, you know, hollering. Doesn't hold up as well at home. It's still better than the sequel though. January 9th, I watched The Godfather. This is the first time I've seen The Godfather since I was 16. So this has been 8 years since I watched it last. I mean, it's The Godfather. What else do you want me to say? Continuing to January 11th, I watched Nacho Libre.
Get that cone out of my face!
Also on the 11th, I watched Marley and Me. I had stayed away from this movie for years because of its reputation. They were right. I did not go to sleep with dry eyes that night. Not a good time. Good movie, not a good time. On January 11th, I rewatched Uncut Gems. This is the first time I've seen Uncut Gems since it came out. And when it came out, I don't know if I was just too anxious watching it or what, but I did not click with it as much as I did this time. This is Sandler's career-defining performance. I think he's fantastic in it. And I think this film is a masterclass in editing. On January 12th, I watched Brief Encounter. This is one of, you know, like the quintessential film school movies that you need to watch. I think it was great, beautiful movie, as you'd expect any David Lean movie to be. I didn't really like the characters, but it was still great. I would watch it again. Good movie. Not that taking 6 hours out of your day to watch a David Lean movie is bad, but normally you do have to take out 6 hours. This time you only have to take out 90 minutes, so. On January 15th, I rewatched 50 First Dates. Now this is one of the most rewatchable. I just lost a light. I'm not gonna charge it though. We're rolling. On January 15th, I watched 50 First Dates. Now this is one of the most rewatchable movies ever for me. I think Sean Astin provides maybe a Mount Rushmore type of performance in it. Just absolutely incredible stuff from him. On January 16th, I hit a three-piecer. I started it off with Anger Management, and I mean, Sandler and Nicholson are fantastic in it, like you'd expect, especially with Nicholson. With two performances that good, or two performers that good, you would think the movie surrounding them would be a lot better. It's not, and it has one of the most out-of-the-blue plot twists I've ever seen in a movie. However, Marissa Tomei in the movie. Deep Water, I rewatched this. This is the first time I've seen it since it came out too. It's a fun disaster movie. It's nothing crazy. I mean, it's about what you'd expect from a disaster movie. Strong John Malkovich performance. And also, Kate Hudson. I finished the day off with Funny People. Wasn't a fan. I was a bit disappointed because it is way too overlong, which is a problem that a lot of Judd Apatow movies have, but it felt unnecessarily long here. I think there's a lot of subplots in it that can just be erased from the movie, and, you know, they weren't, so. January 17th, we started the day off with The Florida Project, which I had never seen before. I'm a big fan of Sean Baker's movies, and I hadn't seen his most popular one. So, or what was his most popular one before Nora, I guess. I adored this movie. I think the way that they capture colors in this is just incredible. I think anyone who wants to film anything should look at this as just a way to take something that looks boring and then just make it look extraordinary. Brooklyn Prince, I believe, was only 6 when this came out, or when they filmed it, and she is just fantastic in it. And then any movie I can watch Willem Dafoe in, I'm there. The Black Phone 2, this was a good time. I wasn't the hugest fan of the first movie. I'm not like a giant Black Phone guy, but you know, I enjoy watching them. I like horror movies, so Black Phone 2 was good. But there are some dream sequences in it that were shot on Super 8 and Super 16, I think, millimeter film. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Like, I would watch it just because of those dream sequences. On January 18th, I watched Goodfellas. It's Goodfellas. On January 19th, I watched the new Netflix original, The Rip. I mean, this is Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, so I'm already there. I like how it's kind of like a homage to straight-to-DVD action movies of, you know, the 90s and 2000s. I think they pulled it off extremely well. They're so fun to watch on screen. They have great chemistry. Continuing on January 19th, I watched Chicken Little for the first time in maybe 20 years. This movie would be monumentally much better if the pig just died in the opening sequence of the film. Then I finished off the day with The Roses. This was a great remake. Cumberbatch and Coleman are fantastic in it, like you would expect. It was really cool to sneak a peek into what my relationship's gonna look like in 15 years, but I would recommend this to anyone. It's just it's a fun time, fun movie. On January 21st, I watched the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. I mean, I've seen this movie 20, 25 times in my lifetime. I could probably watch it 20 more times this year. It is, to me, the quintessential Spider-Man movie. Willem Dafoe absolutely delivers in this. I think he is one of the greatest comic book villain castings we've ever had. On January 22nd, I watched Train Dreams. I've been trying to cross off all the Best Picture nominees this year. Train Dreams was the next one on the list. I didn't expect to be completely enamored by it. I think it's a beautiful look into like people's lives, what we go through, what makes us us. And they compressed it all within 2 hours or whatever. So just a spectacular movie. I also think this is one of the best shot movies in the past 20 years. Just absolutely beautiful filmmaking. After Train Dreams, I watched Spider-Man 2. It's Spider-Man, but 2. The train sequence still rips. And then finishing off the day, I watched Begonia, which is another Best Picture nominee. This was awesome. It was kind of predictable, but the way that they handle like everything in the movie still keeps you engaged. Great performances by Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone. They're great and everything. I think this is definitely one of my favorite Lanthimos joints. He's kind of hit or miss for me, but he really hit on this one. On January 23rd, I finally got around to watching Thief, which had been on my movie bucket list for years. James Caan is literally the epitome of cool. The way that director Michael Mann is able to keep you enthralled during a 5-minute sequence of dudes just using a blowtorch is special. And I mean, just look at this. On January 24th, I watched The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. This is just another rom-com that I had never seen before. You know, I'm just making my way through it. It was a good time. I wish Reynolds would still make movies like this. Following on the 24th, I watched The Godfather Part 2 again. This is the first time I have also seen this since I was maybe 17. If you would have asked me before these rewatches which one I liked better, I probably would have went with Part 2. But then after these rewatches, I think I'm gonna side with Part 1. They're both still incredible movies. In Part 2, I think that Vito's story just slightly carries Michael's. I don't know, it's still a masterpiece, and anyone who hasn't watched it, I mean, what are we doing? January 26th, I watched Please Stand By. This was a cute little innocent indie movie. This is about an autistic girl who wants to take her fan-made Star Trek script from point A to point B and the little adventure she goes on. It's fun. I think they could have done a bit more with it, but it was still an enjoying watch. After Please Stand By, I watched Song Sung Blue. Now, this was way less generic than I thought it would be. I thought it was just gonna be like the typical run-of-the-mill, you know, biopic kind of, which it is sorta, but they kind of flip it around a bit, and I really enjoyed it. I'm still not a big Neil Diamond guy, but you know, I found myself really invested in these two characters and their life, and then reading up on them after I watched the movie. Also, Kate Hudson. On January 27th, I watched Disney Handcrafted, which is an incredible collection of enhanced archival footage of the building of Disneyland like 70 years ago. If you have 75 minutes to spare, I would throw it on and try not to think about OSHA guidelines too much. I think it's just a really cool look into what all these guys had to do to create Disneyland. On January 29th, I watched Burn After Reading. Now, this is one of the few Coen Brothers movies I still hadn't seen, and I am glad I watched it. Just a hilarious film. Maybe Brad Pitt's magnum opus, who knows? It's great. It's hilarious. You should watch it. It's 90 minutes. After Burn After Reading, on the 29th, I rewatched Sinners. This movie's just awesome. I liked it more this time than the first time I watched it. That musical history scene is probably still my favorite scene out of any movie from 2025. I think that if you haven't seen it yet, you need to get on it. It's probably going to win Best Picture. That's my guess right now, but who knows? Awesome. The way Coogler really just takes this time setting in this location and makes it his own is just really cool to see. Shot incredibly well in a fantastic score. On January 30th, I watched The Long Walk, which I read the book a couple days before, and I thought it was an awesome adaptation. I really like the changes that they made, or most of the changes they made. And I would recommend this to anyone who wants a little thriller action. And on January 31st, I ended the month by rewatching Burn After Reading. I showed it to a homeboy, and it still rocked. So yeah, that was every movie I watched this month. If you wanted me to talk more about movies, just let me know. I'll get more in depth. The more that these happen, I'll try to get more in depth with them. I just kind of wanted to try some things out today. But yeah, also